Hello, and welcome to Make a Difference, the show about how volunteers are making a difference every day right here in Montgomery County. I'm your host, Sandy Smith. A new year is once again upon us. It is a time to honor Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. by participating in a day or week of service. Joining me today is Faith McNeil, manager of the Montgomery County Volunteer Center. Welcome to the show again, Faith.
Hi, Sandy. Very happy to be here. Very happy to be discussing next year's MLK Day of Service.
Wonderful. Okay, Faith. So we're back at the Marriott Conference Center in North Bethesda, correct?
Absolutely. We are very excited to be back at the Bethesda North Marriott, hosting our second year back in person since the end of the end of the pandemic.
Yes.
And so we are looking forward to bringing the community back in to work with several nonprofit organizations in order to work on lots of different projects that are going to benefit many nonprofits or many people in our county.
So what opportunities will be available there, and how many people can we expect to participate? And I mean both volunteers and organizations.
Absolutely. So we will have 16 organizations that will be hosting several projects within the Bethesda Marriott. Some of those organizations include IUTA, Every Mind, Pop for a Cause, really great organization that came out of the pandemic. The Project Linus, Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority, Small Things Matter, just to name a few. Some of those projects that they're going to be completed will benefit folks from the unhoused to folks in hospitals and senior care, children in foster care. And so there's going to be some assembly line projects where you're going to be creating kits, hygiene kits, safety kits, art kits, things like that. And then there will also be some projects that require for a little bit more dedicated skill or dedicated attention. And those will be some art projects where folks will be writing cards or creating decorative items that might go in a senior citizen's room at a care facility, things like that.
Okay, that's great. And so those are the organizations. As far as volunteers, how many volunteers do we anticipate that we can accommodate and have enough projects for them to do in case people want to show up, they want to figure out, should they register early, or, what are we looking at number wise?
Absolutely. So as in past years, in order to register, you'll go over to our website, www.montgomeryserves.org. This year, the Marriott, we are looking to host 1,500 participants for the projects that I talked about earlier. We will also have other satellite locations for folks to volunteer with across the county, and I'll be happy to talk about those a little bit later.
Okay. And registration already opened at some point in December, correct? So
Absolutely.
It's open right now.
Opened December 11th.
Okay.
So we are hoping to hit our max at all of our locations this year.
So register early. If you haven't registered yet, get on it right now.
Absolutely.
Is the volunteer fair back this year? I know last year we weren't quite ready to bring it back. Like you said, that was really our first big MLK Day back in person since COVID. So the volunteer fair, is it back now?
Absolutely. Yes, Sandy. We are happy to be bringing back the Volunteer Resource Fair. We will be hosting close to 50 organizations who will be looking to share more information about their organization and how folks can volunteer with them across the year. So not only will some of these organizations be hosting projects with us at the Marriott, they will also be telling volunteers how they can continue to engage with them throughout the year for some of their needs and some of the community needs.
That's great. So people will be able to move through there and speak to different organizations, maybe some that they don't know and some that they're familiar with. They'll have the opportunity to stop and chat to see if it's a good fit for them.
Absolutely. That also there will be some organizations will have some quick 5-minute projects that you can complete while learning about their organization at the volunteer fair.
Oh, that's great. That's a new twist. I like it. Now, this year, we have more satellite sites available. Where are they located for those that may not want to go to the Marriott? They may feel it's too crowded. Where are these satellite sites?
Absolutely. So one of my goals coming in as a volunteer center manager was to make sure that we are making our services available across the county. Montgomery County
Yes.
is very large, and there are people everywhere that have needs, nonprofits everywhere that have needs. And so we really wanted to find a way to be able to provide opportunities for folks to serve outside of the Bethesda Chevy Chase area. And so we have worked with the Montgomery County Department of Recreation to open up a few community centers across the county so that we can have projects there. Yeah, would you like me to get into what those projects are?
Yeah, maybe name just a few locations so that people understand that we're really trying to cover the entire county as best as we can.
Absolutely. So we have folks at the Germantown and Damascus recreation centers up in Up County. We also have the Bower and Mid County recreation centers in Mid County. And then down in Silver Spring, we have the Silver Spring Civic Center, which we have every year. But this year, we also have the Caulfield Recreation Center. They will also be hosting projects at that location as well.
That's great. That's great because that really does give people a huge variety to choose from and locations geographically. So that gives people a really, really good opportunity to serve. What types of volunteer opportunities, just to name a few that may be at some of these satellite locations?
Sure. So over at the Caulfield Recreation Center, we're going to have Only Make Believe hosting a costume collective. So Only Make Believe is they do interactive theater performances for children in hospital care or in other types of care facilities. And they are hosting a costume collective where volunteers can come and help to develop some of the costumes that those children will use while participating in their interactive theater performances.
I love that.
Yeah, me too. I think that's a really great one. It's one of
Yeah.
my favorite actually this year. I'm really excited to see what they produce. Another project, another area that we have at the Bower Recreation Center, we have the Eta Pi Zeta chapter of the Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. They are doing a full service day. They're doing a lot of projects. That's project. They're doing pet kits for hero dogs, self-care kits for first responders, knit hats for premature babies, spring flowers for seniors, and the list goes on. They are doing lots of projects to benefit lots of people in the county. So I think that their location would be a great opportunity for folks who are not that are in the Rockville area, but also not wanting to commute all the way to Bethesda Chevy Chase area.
I mean, there's something for everyone. There is something that you could do to make this happen and serve our community. Now, will there be any virtual opportunities this year?
This year, the Volunteer Center will not be hosting any virtual opportunities. However, we always open our site up to any nonprofit in the area if they would like to host virtual opportunities for folks to engage with for the MLK season. So that could be the MLK Day of Service or MLK Week of Service. So folks who are looking for virtual opportunities can always go to our website, www.montgomeryserves.org, and use those filters to search for virtual opportunities in the month of January.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Sounds like you've got it all covered. Now, what about usually we'll do a week of service? I mean, not usually. Lately, we've been doing a full week of service. What about this year? Are we doing a full week or just a day? Or is it open to other organizations that may want to do a whole week?
Sure. So the Volunteer Center will just be doing the day of service, the activities that will be happening on January 15th. The week of service really came out of the need to continue this service day or service activities through the pandemic. And so we opened it up to a week in order to have those virtual opportunities that folks could do at home. So that said, MCPS continues to honor a week of service in their schools. And so students may see that MLK Day of Service activities are happening in their school during the week of service. Also, if there are other organizations that choose to do week of service activities and post them to our website, you would be able to access those again at our website, www.montgomeryserves.org.
Perfect. What about the Strathmore? Are we back at the Strathmore this year?
Yeah, so the Office of Human Rights will be continuing their annual tradition of having the entertainment at the Strathmore Event Center. And so you will be able to find that information either on their website at www.montgomerycountymd/human rights or at www.strathmore.org.
Oh, perfect, perfect. Do we know if there are going to be any other events available throughout the county more so in celebration of MLK Day of Service or any type? I know sometimes we have entertainment. Where can people find out that information?
That information will also be listed on the Office of Human Rights website. Again, that website is www.montgomerycountymd.gov/human rights.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, we know that this is a big opportunity for students to complete those all-important SSL hours. Like this is the big one. So do we have any projects designed specifically for students, or it's pretty much open to everyone?
We have lots of projects that are designed specifically for students, or not specifically for students, but definitely open to students. Many of the projects that the Volunteer Center is hosting are SSL approved, and many other projects that are on our website are SSL approved. As always, look for that blue banner or blue stamp of approval with the graduation cap to let folks know that this is an SSL approved opportunity and that students will be able to receive SSL hours for participating in this MLK Day of Service activity.
Now, they have to complete those forms or they do not get credit. So let's say they're at one of these satellite sites. How would they complete the forms, get the forms, make sure they have the forms, make sure they're signed, sealed, and delivered?
The Volunteer Center is working very closely with all of our satellite sites, and we'll have pre-printed SSL forms available for our students, for those organizations to provide students who participate in the Day of Service activities at the satellite sites, as well as the Bethesda North Marriott.
Well, I think you've covered it all. So one more time, why don't you tell us those websites that our viewers may want to utilize to find all of information. If they have any questions, tell us where to go. One more time.
Yeah, so the Volunteer Center's website is www.montgomeryserves.org. We will have all information about any of the service projects that are happening on January 15th that we are partnering with, or for those we're not partnering with but have chosen to post them on our website. If you are looking for more or other opportunities outside of volunteer opportunities hosted by the Volunteer Center, you can go to www.montgomerycountymd.gov/human rights. And if you're interested in the event at the Strathmore, you can go to www.strathmore.org.
We've been speaking with Faith McNeil. Thank you for all of your hard work making MLK Day of Service a success. And thank you for joining us today, Faith.
Absolutely. Looking forward to our Day of Service.
If you're interested in these or other volunteer opportunities, please go to our website, montgomeryserves.org. I'm your host, Sandy Smith. And as we bring in a new year, remember that there are those in need all year long. Dr. King literally gave his life in service to others. I think we can give some time. Thank you for joining us, and let's be sure to make a difference.